Hey, good morning, everybody. I couldn't tell when I was actually on, so I was just going to stand there for a second. Welcome. It is Tuesday. It's 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we're here doing the stuff. As we do every day, we're going to be working on an Alexa skill that is a trivia game. But first, I realized that I should probably introduce myself once in a while. I know a few of you know who I am at this point, and you're aware of what I do, and you tune in and chat with me every day. But I feel like I need to do that. So. My name is Jeff Blankenberg. I work at Amazon on the Alexa team, and my job primarily is to build a whole bunch of stuff, work with our product team to help them kind of shape the vision of where things should go for developers. And then I do a lot of this kind of stuff where I actually spend a bulk of my time talking to developers about what they like, what they don't like, what the new features are, how you can take advantage of them. And so that's what I'm doing. And so, in fact, I've been at work already for about 3 hours. And in those 3 hours, I'm working on an entire presentation for a video that's coming up later this month, all about multi-value slots. So lots and lots of that kind of stuff going on in my life. If you are here and you are able, I'm actively paying attention to the chat. So if you want to join in, if you want to say hey, if you have questions or want to have a conversation, I am more than happy to indulge you there. I would love to chat with any of the folks that are here. Tuned in, paying attention to all the nonsense that I'm working on. So that's a quick story about me. You can find me everywhere online as @JeffBlankenberg, and the chatbot will remind you of that, I'm sure, as we go through this. But I just wanted to say hey and introduce myself and remind you all of kind of why I'm here, why I do this stuff. It's because I really am excited about the future of voice and where we're going and what we can do. And I want to continue to build experiences that let us take advantage of all of that. So, okay, that's enough about me and what I'm doing. What I want to focus on now is building some stuff, and that's where we're going to spend the bulk of our time today. So yesterday, we're building a large trivia game that will run on Alexa, and I'll give a quick demo here in a second. But in that trivia game, there's a bunch of other functionality. One of the things that we built a few days ago was the ability to create a new game. So you can create a 10-question game. It picks 10 questions from 10 different categories, and you jam through those 10 questions and do as best you can. There's also the ability to ask for categories. So you can say, give me a sports question or give me a nature question, and we'll try to do our best to accommodate your request. Now, there's one catch to this, which is this skill needs to be able to fund itself, to be able to make some money. And so you can always say, give me a random question, and the skill will give you a random question from one of the 20 categories. But if you want a specific category like sports or nature or music or whatever, in all of those cases, it's going to say, hey, you don't own that category yet. And you have the ability through two different mechanisms to basically buy those categories. You can either buy an individual category. If maybe you only care about sports questions, then you can buy an individual category like sports for 99 cents, very, very affordable. And then you'll be able to get all the sports questions you want anytime that you want. But you can also get a subscription, and the subscription allows you to say, I want all the categories all the time. And it's a monthly subscription that's rolling. So those are the two options you have for purchasing things inside the skill. And yesterday was when we created the subscription. So I guess what I could do now is if we jump over to my browser like that, what we should be able to do is now get past these walls. Like, you don't currently own the music category. Would you like to know more? So let me make sure that my code is running. It is not. So let's get that fired up. Our service is running here locally. And now I'm going to say, no, I don't want to buy that thing. And all this stuff is, oh, it didn't like that. Okay, well, let's open Jeff's trivia game and see what we get.
This is TKO Trivia. What would you like to do now? You can start today's game or ask for a trivia question.
Okay, so it's letting me start a game or ask for a trivia question. So if I say, give me a sports question, I don't remember if I've reset this or not. It might ask me to purchase it.
From the sports and games category.
So I already own that one. So let's do a different one.
Taking place each year in April, what is the first Grand Slam of golf event?
Give me a music question.
It appears you haven't unlocked the music category yet. Would you like to purchase it?
Would I like to purchase it? No, I would not like to purchase it. She's very understanding when you don't want to buy, which is fine. Fair.
Okay. You can always ask for a random category, but to choose a specific category, you need to unlock it. What should we do this time?
So let's say subscription.
If you want to get access to all 20 categories, you want the TKO subscription. Would you like to check it out?
And so with a subscription, I can say yes.
TKO Trivia All Categories subscription is free for 2 days. Then you'll be automatically charged $4.99 a month plus tax. Cancel anytime. Check the Alexa app for terms. Should I start your free trial?
Okay, and so you can see here that it's asking me if I want to start that free trial, which will then roll into a purchase automatically after 2 days. So I'm going to say yes. And this should start my subscription for me.
Code to confirm the purchase. Great. You're signed up. Thanks for your purchase. Your support makes it possible to continue growing our library of questions. This is a fun music question for you. The name of what woodwind instrument means small in Italian?
The answer to this question is piccolo. But what I want to say, so is that right? Piccolo. Good morning, Karthik. Thank you for the raid. Welcome. It's always good to see the gang.
One right. The answer was piccolo. What would you like to do now? You can start today's game or ask for a trivia question.
Okay, so we got our question right, but what's nice about this is that we should be able to say, like we did earlier, give me a music question now. And it's going to just give me a music question, where before it was asking me to pay for it. Here we go. So we have our fun music question.
Marvin Gaye's song enjoyed a second wave of success in 1986 when it was used in a commercial for California raisins.
Okay, so it's all working now. We have the subscription. What we don't have is the capability to exit the subscription, to cancel it. And there is a mechanism to do that with our voice. We just haven't built that yet. So that's going to be our next step. So what I'd like to do is first, let's come into our interaction model, which is not there. Let's go here. And let's look at the new intent that we're going to create. So the interaction model, we have a bunch of stuff here. Cancel, help, stop, navigate, answer intent, question intent. Down here at the bottom, we have subscription intent. So what we're going to do now is build a new intent. And this is going to be the cancel subscription intent. This one's going to be different. We're going to use words like cancel my subscription, end my subscription, stop my subscription, we can't just use the word cancel. Like if the user just says cancel, that doesn't really get us there. And I don't really want to lock up the entire cancel intent just for canceling a subscription. So we're gonna build our own here. Cancel my subscription, end my subscription, stop paying. Let's see, what else can we say? Terminate my subscription. Okay, that'll be good enough for now. So we have our intent. And what we're going to do next with this is actually build the code to handle it like we do all the time. So the first step in all of this is to jump to our base index file. You can get this out of the way. And we have our subscription intent. I'll just take this as an example. Let's come up here to the C's. I try to keep these alphabetical so I can find them. So we're going to go with cancel subscription, which is right here. We'll call this cancel subscription handler and cancel subscription intent. So now we're detecting a cancel subscription intent. And when we get that, then we want to cancel their subscription, or at least offer them that opportunity. Again, we don't really handle a lot of that functionality. Where's the buy subscription handler? We'll put it right after that. So we have the handler built. Now we need to actually write the code for it. So the cancel subscription, we're looking for a cancel subscription intent. So we come into our handlers, which are here, and we'll use the subscription intent as our example because it's about the same idea. We're just sending something different, and we'll call this the cancel subscription intent.js. And in here, we're just going to have cancel. And down here, we'll have cancel. And we'll have some work to do in here to get this all right, but it should be pretty simple. We're just going to be sending a cancel dialog to the monetization service, excuse me, to say, hey, we want to cancel this thing. So we have cancel intent right here. We're going to have const cancel subscription intent. And in there, we're going to do require. And then down here, we're going to do cancel subscription intent. Okay. So that gets that piece out of the way. The last chunk that we need to focus on then is how do we cancel a user subscription? Well, the first thing that we need to do is check and see if they are entitled to this thing. If it's entitled, that means that they actually have the subscription. And if they do, then I have to remember how to do this, but I think it's like cancel, but I don't remember. So I'm going to go look this up. So connections send request cancel. I guess this will do. Handle a refund or cancel request. That's what I want. So are you going to show me some code? Here we go. So it's just a cancel, and I have a product ID. So I want to make sure that this matches, but connections.send request, cancel, product ID. We're going to take the product ID that we get from the subscription. We already have that. So I think it's just this. And we lose our upsell message because that's not a thing we do with canceling. So we're saying if they have the subscription, then we want to let them cancel it. We're going to hand that off to Alexa to manage the cancellation for us. But if they don't have it, then down here at the bottom, we're going to have to do something different, which is like not entitled is the wrong word, but don't own. Do not own. And this will be not entitled. Like so. So the logic that we're using here is they said something that suggests to us that they want to cancel the subscription. This isn't buying it. This is canceling it. And so we go and we look up our in-scale products. We find that they are entitled to the subscription, which means that they own it. And if they own it, then we're going to pass off this dialog, which is going to tell it to start the cancellation process, which they can do with their voice. But if they're not entitled to it, if they don't own it, but for whatever reason they said cancel my subscription, then what we're going to do instead is we're going to say, you don't currently own the subscription. If you'd like to get it, you can say things like buy the subscription or whatever. We'll coach them into getting to the right place and send all of that back. So I think this is good. I think this piece is working. The last piece that we need to come up with is this do not own speech type that we don't have yet. So we're going to add a do not own. We can use this over and over for other stuff, but we'll have a const do not own equals one of those. And then down here, we'll add it to our list. Do not own. Great. And then we need to go to our data. So in our database, which is, there we go. I'm going to add a do not own value. Yeah, US. Doesn't look like you. I can just do this for subscription. I'm going to change this to do not own subscription because this one does live a little differently than the categories would. All right, do not own subscription. It doesn't look like you are currently subscribed. To start to unlock all of the categories, you can get a subscription by saying something like, what were some of the examples that I used for this? Start. Did I add start? Start. Let's add that. Start the subscription. Hey, Zach, man. Good morning. Get a subscription. Okay. Save those. Build. While that's working, we can finish up our. Nope. We can finish our data here. You can say something like start the subscription. I'll add one more that's a little different, EN US, just so we're not bombarding them with the same speech over and over and over. This is going to be do not, and this will be you don't have a TKO trivia subscription. To start one, you can say buy the subscription. I put quotes in there. You can say buy the subscription. Okay, we'll get rid of this empty one. Great, so we have a couple of things that the skill can say. We have our cancellation model set up. We have our, this became do not own subscription. Good catch, good catch. And then in here, this needs to become do not own subscription. Okay, so let's see if we can cancel our subscription now. That might be it. That might be all we need to do. Karthik, thank you for doing this. You mean going through the monetization stuff? It's a good reminder for me. I'm really glad that I get opportunities to do this stuff. So I have my subscription. If you recall back here, I said, thanks for your purchase. Your support is right. I'm all signed up. I have the subscription. So I should be able to say cancel my subscription.
Okay. As a reminder, this monthly subscription will unlock all 20 categories in TKO Trivia. Are you sure you want to cancel your subscription?
And I say yes, I want to cancel it. It's going to say something about the trial still running. I think you still get the trial.
Okay. I've canceled TKO Trivia all categories subscription, and you'll no longer be charged. You can continue to use it until the end of this subscription period. Something is definitely very broken. If only I could fix it myself. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Take care, Karthik. Thanks for being here.
Our developers. Let's start over. What would you like to do now?
Okay, so you can see that we got an error, but the error is because we're not handling the response from the cancellation. This is an easy fix. It's just another handler that we need to manage. So if we look at this, what comes back to our skill is let's see if we can find it here. Connections.response, name cancel. And then we're looking at accepted. So in here, in the base index, we have a, remember we had buy success and buy declined? It's going to look a lot like this, but it's going to be for cancellation. So I'm going to do the same thing here, and we have cancel intent, cancel success. Actually, this works really nicely. We'll put it right here. Cancel success handler. And this is going to be where the name is cancel, so we don't have an or case on this one. And then we're looking for accepted. I don't think I need already purchased either. It looks like that. We said cancel and we said accepted. There's another case, cancel declined, which we'll have to look at as well. And I want to make sure that I get those properties right. So this is, we'll just call this cancel success handler. And if we go look at our buy success handler, all we do is get some basic speech and return it to the user. So this isn't a very complicated process here. But let's say cancel success handler. Is that what I called it? Cancel success. And we need to add that here. Cancel success. Const. No, why are you doing that? Cancel success handler. And then down here, cancel success handler. So that's registered. It's good. It's ready to go. Now in here, we just need to take this to be like cancel accepted. That's it. Like that's the only change that's being made to this file at all. And I feel like I don't need to ask a question here. So we're going to actually do this just to make this a little different. I'm going to get rid of this line entirely. This is going to be get random speech. This is going to be action query. And the rest of it looks good. Okay, so I don't need their persisted category. I don't even need their session attributes, I don't think. All I need is, if we go to launch request, this has a nice one. Cancel success is going to look a little bit like this. What's going on with my clipboard? Okay, so we'll have a const speak output. This is going to equal explanation and action query. That. Join. Like that, and like that, and then this becomes action query, and this takes that spot, and we're good. Okay, so now what cancel success handler is going to do is just going to go out and get some speech about how your cancel's been accepted and thank you and whatever, and then it's just going to say, okay, so what do you want to do now? We can't just give them a question. We can't do any of that stuff because they just canceled a purchase. Like we may not be able to give them the thing that we thought they wanted. So this cancel success handler is just going to cancel the subscription. And if they succeed, then we're just going to say, okay, cool, you're canceled. So let's look at the speech that came out of that before our error. It said, okay, I've canceled TKO Trivia, all category subscription. You'll no longer be charged. You can continue to use it until the end of the subscription period. Maybe I don't even need any speech. No, I'll do something like you can always start a new subscription if you change your mind or something like that. I should always encourage them to come back and do it. So cancel accepted is a new speech type. Cancel, cancel, cancel here. Cancel accepted. Okay, we have our new speech type. Now we can go into our database and create a new record. And I'll try to make this generic so that it's not just for the subscription. Well, you can't cancel anything except the subscription. So maybe, all right, let's see. You can always restart your subscription when you're ready. And one more, yen US, cancel accepted, and this will be, yeah, it's canceled. You won't be charged anymore. If you change your mind, you can always start a new subscription by saying start a subscription. Okay. So I have 2 cancel accepted in there. This is where we come in, we grab that, we speak out to the user. So this should allow us to cancel our subscription successfully. And let's make sure that in our index, we had this cancel success handler. I don't think I added this to the bottom. That would have failed. Cancel success. We can put that way down here. Okay. So now, we should have it capable of canceling. So I'm not sure how this is going to work. It's still eligible for this subscription period. So I'm going to try this. And if I say, give me a music question, category I don't own, what does it do?
It appears you haven't unlocked the music.
Okay, so it did cancel
yet.
it, cancel it.
Would you like to purchase
That's
it?
good. So we're going to say start. No, I want to say no first. Then we're going to say start the subscription.
Okay. To choose a specific category, you have to purchase it. You can always ask for a random question. However,
Start a subscription. We got to go through the hoops.
I heard you say, start a subscription, but I'm not sure what you want me to do. What should we do this time?
Sorry, what? Start a.
If you want to get access to all 20 categories, you want the TKO subscription. Would you like to check it out?
Yes, I would like to check it out, please.
TKO Trivia All Categories subscription is free for 2 days. Then you'll be automatically charged $4.
Start a free trial. Yeah, let's do it. Give me my
Please
subscription.
say your 4-digit code to confirm the purchase. Great. You're signed up.
Cool, I'm signed up.
Thank you. We really appreciate your support. This is a fun music question for you.
Okay. We get our question. That's great.
The Weird Al Yankovic song Yoda is a parody of what 1970 song by the Kinks?
Cancel my subscription.
Okay. As a reminder, this monthly subscription will unlock all 20 categories in TKO Trivia. Are you sure you want to cancel your subscription?
Yes, I want to cancel. And now we should catch it.
Okay, I've canceled TKO Trivia All Categories subscription, and you'll no longer be charged. You can continue to use it until the end of this subscription period. You can always restart your subscription when you're ready. What should we do this time?
Now, what happens if I say cancel my subscription? Cancel my subscription.
It doesn't look like you are currently subscribed.
Nice.
To unlock all of the categories, you can get a subscription by saying something like, start the subscription. You can say something like, give me a science question, or you can start today's game. What will it be?
All right, awesome. So now what we want to do is try to cancel, have it prompt us for that, and then say no. That's the other thing that we have not built a case for yet. So start a subscription. That should work now. I just fixed my model.
If you want to get access to all 20 categories,
Yes.
TKO Trivia All Categories,
Yes.
please say your 4-digit code to confirm the purchase.
Get a new subscription.
Great. You're signed up. Thanks for your purchase. Your support makes it possible to continue growing our library of questions. Here's one from the music category. In the Billy Joel song Piano Man, what is the profession of Paul?
Yes, this is in a repo, W. Giorgio, and thank you for letting me know my video's frozen. So annoyed by this hardware. It really is making me angry. Just how difficult this has become to get a stream to work every day.
Okay. What is your answer?
my camera decides to freeze up on me, and I don't really know what I can do. I've opened a ticket with the Elgato, who makes the Cam Link device that I'm using. My camera's working fine. If I unplug the Cam Link and plug it back in, the camera's still working. But for whatever reason, it just freezes up sometimes, and I don't know why, and it's very annoying because it's making it very hard to try to have a professional looking stream when your video just gets locked up. So I apologize for that, W. Giorgio. But this is, to answer your other question, yes, this code is in a repo. You can find it. The repo is called TKO Trivia on my personal GitHub. In addition to that, there's also an issues list. And if you find things or think of things that this skill should have, please add them to the issues list. This is where we're managing kind of our to-do list of sorts. Yeah, it's all here. So it's just called TKO Trivia. But feel free to jump in there and poke around. Happy to share. Happy to share. Okay. Yeah, I look pretty good. Let's see. Look at that. Oh man, so good. So annoying. Make sure you get your screenshots. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to fight with it right now. I'm not going to be long on this stream. Hey, G Alexa. Hey, Corey Haynes. I love my duck face lips. W. Giorgio says, hey, I've not had success with canceling without getting an error, so thanks for sharing this. I mean, it's relatively straightforward to not get an error. I think the catch is making sure that you have, if I can find it, cancel. You just need this connections.response for cancel, and you need accepted. And then the thing we're going to work on right now is the decline of a cancellation. So they said cancel, we told them what to do, and then they chose not to do it. That's the last piece here. So I'm going to say cancel my subscription. And it's going to say, okay, you want to cancel this. This is what it is.
Okay. As a reminder, this monthly subscription will unlock all 20 categories in TKO Trivia.
Now, I'm going to say
Do
no.
you want to cancel your subscription?
I'm going to say no, I don't want to cancel. And we're going to get an error here because I'm not handling this case at all. So I just want to be prepared that you guys are going to hear an error message.
Okay, I won't cancel it. Whoops.
Okay.
It looks like one of our programmers broke something.
So the reason that I like to let this break,
and have them fix it as
aside
soon
from
as possible.
making sure that things
In the
break as they
meantime,
should,
would you like to ask
is
for a
that
random question
we want to
or
see this
start a new quiz?
connections.response, cancel, and declined come in. This is the piece that we need to build a handler for. So I have cancel success. So we're going to take cancel success, cancel declined right here. So this becomes declined, cancel declined handler. And this then is looking for cancel decline. So this is what we will do when the user starts to cancel and then changes their mind. So we'll add that down here, cancel success, cancel decline. This is a really rare case, I would think, that we'll run into, but we certainly have to handle it. So that's good. We have that part built. Cancel success, it's going to look a lot like this. I'm going to be a little snarky with this one, again, because I don't expect that it's going to happen often. And someone just decided to keep their purchase. So I'm going to be very thankful for that fact. So cancel declined. This is going to become cancel declined. And the rest of this is the same. Well, I got to change my function names, but otherwise it's the same. Cancel declined. And then in our index, we need to add that. So cancel declined equals require that. And then down here, we need one of these. Okay. Cancel declined is pretty much done. I need to add this as a speech type. So we'll do that here. Cancel accepted, cancel declined. And then up here, we need a cancel accepted, cancel declined const. Perfect. So we have our speech types. The last step, of course, as always, is data. And so we'll come in here and we'll add an EN US, cancel declined, and we're going to say, phew. Yeah, like what's the SpeechCon? SpeechCon for few? Like, basically, man, I thought you were going to cancel the subscription. I'm so glad you didn't. So I don't think they give me a good way to find this. Here we go. Something like this.
Phew. Phew.
Okay. So to do a SpeechCon, come back up here to the top and just take this. So in our data directly, we're just going to say, phew. I was worried you were going to cancel me. I'm so glad you changed your mind. Thanks for the support. Okay. Then we'll do another one. Is there, I don't think there's like a, that was close. That would be cool. Like a whoa. Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah, whoa will do. So we'll take whoa and we'll say same kind of thing. But with whoa. So glad you're sticking around. Okay. We have our cancel declined. Right here it said we got our error. So now I need to go start the subscription again so that I can capably cancel it.
It appears that you already made that purchase. Thank you for that. You can say something like, give me a science.
Oh, that's right. I
question,
didn't cancel
or you
it.
can start today's game.
Okay.
What will it be?
Cancel my subscription.
Okay. As a reminder, this monthly subscription will unlock all 20 categories in TKO.
No, don't cancel. Be snarky with me, please.
Okay. I won't cancel it. Something is definitely
Ooh.
very broken. If only I
What
could
did I
fix
forget
it
to
myself.
register? I'm sure that's
Sorry
it.
for the inconvenience. I've notified our developers. Let's start over. What would you like to do now?
The error is unable to find a suitable request handler. Really? I thought that I did a very good job of that. Cancel declined handler is right there. Cancel declined handler. Great. And then in here, I have cancel declined handler. Did I add it to this? I did. And it's there. I probably didn't do this. Sometimes you need to restart the service. I think that's all it was. Cancel my subscription.
Okay. As a reminder, this monthly
No.
Okay. I won't cancel.
Please work, please work.
Phew. I was worried you were going to cancel me. I'm so glad you changed your mind.
There we go.
Thanks for the support. What should we do next? You can say give me a random question or start today's game.
Okay. So let's actually cancel my subscription now. And then let's try to cancel it when it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Gee,
As a
Alexa.
reminder,
Oh my gosh,
this
we could
monthly
spend an hour on that.
subscription
Yes, I will
unlock
do
all
it.
20 categories in TKO trivia. Are you sure you want to cancel your...
Yes, cancel my subscription.
Okay, I've canceled TKO Trivia all categories subscription, and you'll no longer be charged. You can continue to use it until the end of this subscription period.
Cancel my subscription. What do you say now?
Sorry, I am unable to fulfill your request on this device. Please try again from your Echo device.
What? Oh, I see. I didn't let it get out of the Alexa stuff. That's my fault. Okay.
Welcome to TKO.
Cancel my subscription.
It doesn't look like you are currently subscribed. To unlock all of the categories, you can get a subscription by saying something like, start the subscription. What would you like to do now? You can start today's game or ask for a trivia question.
Okay, so let's, we're good. We now have the ability to both let the user sign up for a subscription and cancel one. That feels really good. They can also buy the individual categories for $1 if they just want to buy one of those. We feel really good about this. So I think starting tomorrow, we're going to start looking at visuals and how we put things on the screen for APL and stuff like that. So in the meantime, though, Alexa asked a really good question about how my database stuff is set up. So the first thing to understand is that there is no speech in my code at all. Everywhere that you would normally see speech, like the launch request, right? Instead of having it hard-coded here, like welcome to my skill or whatever, literally everything about how I communicate with my user is randomized. And this is done by design so that it always feels and sounds a little different. You can do that pretty easily with 5 to 7 different ways of saying everything. And the way that I manage that is all through a database. And the reason for this is because there are a lot of great text file-based ways to manage all of your speech and randomize and do whatever. But in order to make changes, in order to add to it, I have to be at a machine where I can configure all my code, I can upload it, deploy it to a server, and go through all of that. I don't want any of that. And in fact, in many cases, I won't even be the one writing the content, which means that I introduce a lot of churn every time that I want to make updates to my skill. So by moving it out into a database, and I'm using a service called Airtable, which I'll show you in just a second. By doing that, my camera's annoying me, so now I'm going to try and reboot it while we do this. By moving it out to Airtable, the luxury that I get is that I can make changes on the fly. I can add new questions. I can add new content. I can add anything that my skill says. I can add more variation to that at any time. And the moment that I commit it to my database, it's live. And the reason that I like Airtable is because it's user-friendly. It makes it very easy for a user to be able to get in there, to edit, to modify, to maintain it, even if they're not super technical. But if it's a text file that's in my Lambda function, they have to know not only how to edit that file and write content, but then also how to deploy that out to AWS. They have to have their machine configured. There's all sorts of stuff that goes on. Or they have to be able to zip a file up and get logged into my AWS account. Like, there's just a lot more work there. And so it's very, very easy for them to set up their own account on Airtable, invite them in, and let them use it. And so let me give you a quick tour of what this data structure looks like. This is actually the last thing that I'm going to go through today. We'll spend 15 minutes or so on this, but we'll get started on APL in the morning. So the first thing I should say is that I have a user table. This is integral to a number of things for me, but the core thing that it solves is persistence. When the user leaves from session to session, I need to know what's going on with them. And so I could use something like DynamoDB or any other cloud-based database service. But the problem with those primarily is, again, I run into that technical know-how. If you've used something like DynamoDB, you know that if I was to hand that to somebody that's not technical, they don't know how to use it. And because they don't know how to use it, it adds a lot of churn to their workflow. I want it to be very easy. The reason that I like Airtable is because it's so familiar. It works like an Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheets or anything like that. It's very, very easy to use, but you still get the beauty of relational data. You still get the relationships between all of your different records, which makes a lot of this very, very manageable. So in my user record, this is the Alexa user ID. This is the unique identifier that I get inside my skill every time the user makes a request. And I use this as a way to map everything that they do inside my database. So I have a user record, has their user ID, and then I have a bunch of other stuff over here. These are all aggregation fields primarily, but they let me know how the user's done. How many questions have they taken? How many have they answered? How many did they get right? Or how many did they answer percentage-wise? How many did they get right? What's their correct percentage? How many achievements do they have? And then we have an entire database of achievements that they can unlock, right? So we have achievements. We have records to keep track of which users got which achievements. You can see how that stuff starts to grow. But one of the key pieces to this is that my questions are all in this database as well. So with my questions, which this is a bigger table, it'll take a second to load. Maybe. There we go. All of my questions are stored in here. And I have voice question and voice answer. I will eventually have more fields as we add APL that are screen answer and screen question, because you write things differently when you put it on a screen versus when you say it, just in the same way that I marked up some SSML a minute ago. So in all of this, these are all of my questions, but you'll see that I consistently have this field called is disabled. This is something that if I check a box, in like the moment that I check that box, no one in the future of using this skill will have access to that question. It is out of circulation completely just by checking that box, because all of my code that queries this database looks to make sure that we're only pulling records where is disabled is false. The same thing goes for speech. I have all of these different speech types. We should start here. You can see that I have all of these different kinds of speech here on the left-hand side: welcomes and errors and goodbyes and first welcomes and wrong answers. All of these are different kinds of speech that I use inside my skill. And then the actual values themselves are here. So if I scroll to the top of this list, you can see that I have a bunch of different achievement unlocked messages, right? And I have a bunch of action query messages. These are things like, okay, what should we do now? I'm encouraging them to take an action. I heard you say something, but I'm not sure what you want me to do. And we see these words in brackets. These are values that I replace with the value they actually said. Makes it more customized and familiar. So all of these, like for example, if we look at achievement unlocked, right? I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 achievement unlocked, and I have 3 achievements unlocked because this is a different functionality. But these 4 are all in here. They're all assigned to the US English locale, which means that every time that I query the database, I say, hey, I need an achievement unlock statement. It calls into the database. It grabs all 4 of these, brings them back. My application randomly picks one of them, and it feeds that to my user. So what's really nice about this is that it means that all of the speech that happens inside my entire skill, all of it happens completely random. You never know what you're going to get, because I'm going to continue to expand on this speech, and you'll get a different response every time. We even stitch a lot of these things together. So I may say, hey, you just unlocked an achievement. And then I tack on an action query right after that that says, okay, what do you want to do now? So we're piecing all of these things together, which means even when you hear a full statement that might be 2 or 3 or 4 sentences, those all came from random different places, which means you're never really going to hear the same paragraph of text more than once. And you probably won't hear something that's same as someone else. So that's the core of how my database works. Is we store and persist our user data on every interaction every single time, so that we never have to worry about, did we lose something? Do we not know what's going on with our user? We also use this for a lot of analytics. So you can see in my question instance, this is when the user is actually asked a question. So I take a specific question, I assign a specific user to it and say, hey, this user was asked this question. They got it right or they got it wrong. This is the answer they gave. This is when that record was created, and was it part of a quiz? That's some other stuff that flows in later. But what I can do is I can look at my wrong answers, the ones that don't have this check mark. I can come in and look at these and say, oh, they got this one wrong. They said New York and Philadelphia. What should the answer have been? And in fact, that's a cool field to add right here. Let me add that. Insert left. We're going to do a lookup. We're going to choose question, and we want to bring in voice answer. Check this out. It now shows me what the user said and what I was expecting. So you can see for a lot of these are right. But for this one, the answer was John F. Kennedy. I knew the answer was John F. Kennedy, but I wanted to get this one wrong. So I said Johnson. This is a question about a president. What this shows me very quickly is, are they getting it wrong because they gave a wrong answer, which is of course fine, or are they getting it wrong because I heard something wrong and I need to tweak up my answers and make sure that I'm fixing things? So let's find another wrong answer where we actually got the question wrong. This is roll dull, and we got it wrong. Now, this was on when I had a bug in my application. It was marking them wrong even when I was getting them right. But as we continue through this, you can see that for a lot of these, I'm just not getting any answers. But let's see if at the very beginning I have more wrong. Yeah, so this is another one. The answer is inertia. I said gravity. That's a very valid wrong answer. I don't need to take any action on this. But in this one, the answer is 32, and for whatever reason, the user said 32 and we marked it as wrong. This is when I first noticed that bug. We have zone improvement plan and blood pressure. Those are other examples of that. So this allows me to have some very interesting data about what's going on inside my app. For every single question that's asked, I can now see what are the wrong answers I'm getting and are they actually right answers? Because it's very possible that I'm going to have a blind spot where I don't think this is a right answer, but everybody's saying that, and in fact, it is a right answer, and I need to fix my skill. This is another awesome solution that we have by moving to a database. If we look at my question table again, eventually, you can see that I have synonyms, answer synonyms. So the answer is Andrew Lloyd Webber, but they could say Webber or Lloyd Webber, and those should also be right. So I can add synonyms, again, dynamically without changing my app at all, just by modifying this list. And it gives me that same kind of functionality where if I realize that there's a wrong answer coming in or a right answer coming in, but it's being treated as wrong, all I have to do is add some additional synonyms and boom, now it'll work. And I don't have to change any of my code or anything. So this is what we get here. And you can see that I actually bring the wrong answer columns over here. So if I scroll through this, we should eventually see, yeah, it thought the zone improvement plan was wrong, but in fact, it's not wrong. And this is a very, very easy way for you to manage all of this content. So GLX, I hope this is helpful. The other really nice thing about Airtable is that it shows me, here, we'll just go to api.airtable.com. And the API for this is really where a lot of the power comes, because I don't have to build anything on top of this database. It's all here for me already. So I'll go into my database for TKO Trivia. And this is their API documentation, but it's in the context of my specific table. So in this example, we were talking about the question table. You can see that in here, I want to retrieve a record. Well, they show me exactly in JavaScript how to do that. And so for retrieving a record, I can use this code. I could literally copy and paste this into my Node app, and it would just work. And what it would return back to me is this is the output that I would get. But maybe I want to create a record. Okay, well, then this is the code that I need. If I just want a single record, it kind of looks like this. Here's how I insert my record. I have all the different properties. I can insert the values that I need. And the output is going to be the record ID that comes back to me. Schmake Case, you're totally right. Snake Case, you're totally right. My camera is frozen. Thank you for letting me know. I'm about to wrap up here, actually. We're going to finish in just a couple of minutes. And I didn't want to fight with it. So we're just going to live with Frozen Jeff. Frozen duck lips Jeff. It's beautiful. So anyway, this is the code that I would use to do that. This is the output. And then finally, there's retrieving multiple records. And this is where, if I look at something like list records, sorry. This is where I go out and I get a list of the things that I want, and it returns back to me the individual records that I want. So anyway, that is this API and this documentation make life so incredibly easy for me that it's as simple as when I get into my app and I build one of these data functions like get random question. All I'm doing is making a call out to the Airtable API. I have some properties out here on the end. I want to find a question from a specific category. I want to make sure it's in a specific locale so that I'm getting an English US question for an English US locale. And then I'm always making sure that it's not disabled. So all of this functionality, this is something that I've kind of handcrafted, hand-rolled over the years. But I've been leaning pretty heavily on Airtable for the last 2+ years as I think about how I build this stuff and how it all works. And that's been a big key to the success of my skills, I think, is that it just makes it so much easier for me to manipulate and manage my data without having to think about how this all flows into something like a DynamoDB or a text file. So anyway, that's my quick rundown. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Alexa. Thank you for being here, Snake Case. We're actually going to run. I have a few things that I need to take care of, like eating. And I have office hours. The Alexa office hours are today in 1 hour. So I will be back on stream on the Alexa channel here in just about an hour. So let's go find someone to raid. We're going to tune in to this girl, Swoosh Boy. She's a gamer. She's not a coder. But I've never seen a more chaotic chat than I have seen on her channel. So she's playing Super Monkey Ball, which if you guys didn't play that back in the old GameCube days, man, that was a fantastic game. But I'm going to start a raid. We're going to head over and see what she's up to. Before I do that, I'm going to go to her channel. So because they make me watch a commercial and then I miss like the whole welcome. So let's get that fired up. I want to make more money. Oh, it says she's offline, but you want me to raid her. Cancel that raid. No, she's online. Did I spell it wrong? SWUSHWOI. Well, it doesn't appear that she's actually online, so we're not going to raid her. Let's try something else. Let's go to. Let's swing over to Lana Lux. She's building this really cool game. See what Lana is doing. Yeah, see, she's streaming. So we will, let's do it. We're going to go over and raid Lana. Make sure you say, hey, drop my name if you want, but let's go see what she's up to today in just a few seconds. So anyway, thank you guys all so much. It's always a pleasure to be here and share what I'm working on with all of you. And I will see you tomorrow. We're going to work on APL and figure some things out. All right. Bye, everybody.